Hi guys, welcome to my channel called Conversation Corner. As you guys know, I've been making these series of videos called Mental Language Series with the purpose of explaining the importance of words and the role they play in building our worldview today. And today's topic would be something to do with competition and envy. Envy being wanting something that someone already has, and competition is competing for something scarce. Now, why this is so important right now is the times we are living in, at least in India. The education system is built on the whole idea of standardization and competition. So, certain exams get a lot of prestige in this country. So, let's say you want to crack the IITs or you want to get into the Indian Institute of Management. These are premier institutes which offer their graduates the opportunity to earn really well and be hired by big companies at large pay packets. And since we haven't explored all other avenues of making money, like through entrepreneurship, a lot of people feel that the best shot of making a lot of money is by appearing for these competitive exams and then getting into one of these prestigious institutions. Now, it works out well for those who are able to clear these exams. It works out really well for those who do get hired by these companies. But let's give a thought to those who didn't make the cut, and let's see the effect on their mental health. For someone who didn't make the cut, his or her thoughts are always going to go towards not having got that seat or not having got that job opportunity should he or she have graduated from said institute. And the idea of how you feel now will depend on looking at other people and not looking at yourself. So someone who didn't get into IIMs or who didn't get into IITs may look at someone who got into these institutions and say, oh man, they got into it, they could do it, they have such a wonderful life, I couldn't do it for myself. Oh, and so on and so forth. You know how this works, right? So the opposite also takes place. So let's say you did clear the exams, you did get into the institute, and you did get that company that gave you the very lucrative pay packet. You feel good because out of so many people, you were the one chosen. So your whole idea of feeling special, your whole idea of accomplishment has no basis without you comparing yourself to an other person, right? So your whole frame of reference for your success again does not come from you, it comes from someone else. You did better than someone else, you got into the premier institutes, or you got the highest pay packet or a relatively high pay packet compared to the others. So even in your success right now, you are basing your idea of self-worth and accomplishment by elevating yourself over others, thinking that you're so special and you got into these institutes. So not to find fault with either you or the person who's envious of what you have got right now, I'm saying the issue we face right now is the only way we know how to make a living or to seek employment is through competition. You apply for competitive exams, you clear certain interviews, and a very limited seats have a large number of applicants, right? This is ideally how competition does work. And I know there are reservations, but that's a wholly different topic that I will address sometime later, or maybe I won't. But what I want to tell you right now is that the structure of competition as such makes people envious of others. So let's say we go back to school. There were people who came first, second, or third, and these people were given awards for academic achievements. So what this did at that point in time was made these children very proud of what they were because they were better than the others, and it made the other children feel a little worse off because they were less than them. In either case, the scale of reference does not come from within, it comes from without, from seeing what's happening around you. And that's the reason why a lot of people today do not find friends who can be really happy for them, who can really be happy in their success, right? Because if you go to school with the same person, you're appearing for the same exam, someone passes, someone doesn't. It's that system itself that creates the envy. So don't really find fault with your friend for being a little envious of you, or you don't feel bad if you start feeling sympathy for your friend for not being where you are. The system is designed as such that we cannot find out the unique talent or the unique how would I say it, affiliation, or for what our innate talents are. How this will be done about is, or how this will get accomplished is another topic in and of itself. But right now we need to take cognizance of this fact that competition itself is creating envy, and it's creating a lot of stress and anxiety even for people who are successful. They no longer look down at people, they look at people above them. So everyone is on the ladder somewhere, right? So no matter how high you go on the ladder, you are always looking above and below, because there's always someone at the top and there's always someone at the bottom. And if we continue idolizing competition, we'll always be stuck on this ladder where our frame of reference for how we are doing in life comes from other people and it doesn't come from us. So what we call our goals are not even our goals. These are goals of these institutes that wanted people with a certain level of intelligence. These are goals of the companies that wanted a certain class of employees to achieve certain targets and metrics for them. So we lose our whole identity and sense of self to these institutions, to these companies, and then we start bragging about being affiliated to these places. So someone would say, I'm an IITian, or I am an IIM graduate, or I work in so and so company, as if that were their primary identity. Whereas this is a very dangerous frame of reference to hold, because let's say layoffs happen and this very prestigious company at which you work sacks you, right? Because it doesn't fit their budget to have you there anymore. Your whole idea of sense of self will crumble, and you'll be in a very bad mental space. So what we need to do as the younger generation, at least millennials and Gen Z, is try to build a system around which our frame of reference comes from within and not from without. And although it is hard to do, although we have not had any system or a blueprint to show what this is, I think it is possible. We can start with very small steps. I would suggest everyone to cultivate a hobby and to pursue it no matter how good or bad you are at it. So, let's say if you love singing, you should sing and you should practice singing. It doesn't matter if you don't win India's Got Talent. It doesn't matter if even five or six people don't listen to you. As long as you enjoy doing something, there should be something in your life which you enjoy doing, which is not contingent on you getting money and fame. If you do that, slowly you'll start building an internal frame of reference. You'll have a better idea of who you are, and you'll start feeling better about yourself. So let us start with small steps. Let us all try and find things that draw us to them naturally. Let us cultivate this hobby, and let's see how that helps us grow in our life a little more. So if you've found this video sensible, I would love to read your comments. So do write to me in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.